Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today we are cracking on with this, my 1986 Opel Kadett time attack build. And if you watched the last video, there was a little bit of a snag when it came to putting the engine together. I couldn't do it, but all of that has been resolved. I can do the engine, but I got a bunch of really cool parts that I really want to start trying to install. So today we're pivoting and doing some stuff on the interior. Main reason I want to do the interior is because I finally have the steering system linked up to the wheels again, so I can more easily move this thing around. So I need to put the steering wheel in, but I don't want to do the steering wheel until I've got some more interior in, because there's some stuff that I can't really finalize until I can't put the steering wheel in until I've finalized some other stuff. It's just sort of like a little bit of a snowball effect. I also have a bunch of other parts that need to go into this thing to improve the drivability and usability of this car, but I will need to figure out their ergonomics first. So, first item on the docket is a seat. I will not be using the OEM driver seat, so those are seat rails. The OEM ones, well, they're the bits that I need anyways. A really important thing to remember is that you're building the car around yourself, so that's where I'm sitting. I need to finalize that before I place everything around me. And not only will I be doing that in the video, I'll also be teaching myself how to weld. I got that yesterday. That is a 145 amp flux core MIG welder. It can do stick, it can do solid wire MIG welding, it can do TIG as well, but I don't have the gas, so I'll be sticking with flux core for now. First order of business, I need to lock this position in so that when I take these brackets out, they will still be connected to each other so that the measurements are not compromised. I'm more of a learn as you go type of person, but before I started this I watched a bunch of tutorials on YouTube, which I will link down below in the description. This is not a teach yourself how to weld video, this is a I build car video. So if you want to learn how to use one of these machines, links to the videos I watched down below. And then I also did a few test passes experimenting with different wire speed, different voltage, just trying to get the sort of muscle memory dialed in. And I'm quite comfortable that I'm at the point where I can lay down some tack welds on that bit, so I can actually start making stuff. Alright, that's tacked together. I've taken it out of the car so I can buzz it all together on the bench so that I do minimal damage to the interior, because this flux core MIG welder, well, all welding, but this definitely splatters more than a stick welder, which I've used before. So to prevent getting spatter everywhere, I'm just going to buzz it outside the car. Hello? Hi. Yeah, sorry, time skip happened. Some school stuff came up. I had to go sort that out, but let me finish that up so I can get the seat that is off screen right there in the car before the end of the day, because I need to have something resembling an interior before I go to bed tonight. Don't know if it's just me, but this flat stock I've bought cuts a lot more difficult than what I'm used to. I accidentally get a good batch. Doesn't matter. When last you saw me, I was over there. Also, there was more sunlight up there. I was over there cleaning up the bracket I've been making. And the next step after that was mounting the rails to the bracket. It's fine, it's easy, it's just drilling 4 holes. Just got to get the bolt pattern right. But I forgot that I am incompetent. So indeed, drilling those 4 holes was very, very, very difficult. But it is done. And you know things got a bit rowdy because I forgot to record because I just got very angry. So it is in the car. It is bolted. It fits. After a great amount of fuss, it fits. Only issue is I need to take it out again to paint this. Bother. Anyways, this is a Seibelt FIA, I think, FIA approved seat rail to go with this FIA approved OMP TRS E. As far as I could find, that was the cheapest FIA legal seat you could buy in South Africa. I bought mine for 6,500 Rand. That is 500 bucks more expensive than your regular run-of-the-mill fake bride seat that I was planning to put on this thing. I still kind of want it because the seats do look really cool and they're more lightweight because the fake ones are fiberglass. That's a metal backed seat. That bitch is heavy, but it's a safety mod. Weights of no concern. That just needs to keep me from not dying. The nice thing about the OMP TRS is that it is side and bottom mounted, but I decided to run with the side mounting. That gives me a little bit more adjustment in terms of height and seat rake, as well as a bit more leeway with figuring out the bolt pattern on my seat rails. But using those brackets along with the rails does add quite a bit of weight though. In the future I might actually remove the rails entirely if it starts to eat away at me. All I know about these is that they are apparently from Italy. A manufacturer somewhere in Italy. They were unbranded, but they came from the same shop as this thing, so I trust them. And those are only on because, well, I got excited and I wanted to sit in it and I wanted to assemble it because new toy, you gotta taste it. Monkey brain. So I need to extract those, put those on the rails, then I can put that in those and sit in the car, put the steering wheel in and figure out the ergonomics of all the other race car shit that needs to go in that thing. And I'm running out of sunlight. I say though, if you want to start welding, definitely get one of those little flux core MIG welders. Don't even bother with a stick welder. It's so much fun. It's so intuitive. But when you get one, this is mine. This is a Pinnacle MIG Arc 145. This can do solid core, flux core MIG. It can do TIG and it can do stick welding. The leads for the stick welder is inside over there. It's very nice. I can set up my voltage here and I can set up my amperage for when I'm stick welding, as well as my wire speed for when I'm MIG welding, and it detects what you are doing by its own. It's quite nice. So I reckon, because the camera is also a little bit low on battery, I'm just going to do a flick and then the seat's going to be in. So 1, 2, it is in. Not sure how well you can see it because of how dark it is. Yeah, winter is at our doorstep. Normally I'd have about an hour and a half of daytime still, but yeah, I fear that my day is going to be snipped short for a lack of light. And just sort of as a consolation, I think I'm going to put the steering wheel in tonight. This is I will admit, this is not a real one. Real ones did not lie in this budget. This is a replica. I've dropped everything. This is a replica OMP Momo Prototipo. Now, I'm not fully committed to the steering wheel just yet. The reason I have this one is I wanted something plain. This being black on black on black is about as plain as it gets. I wanted something with a shallow depth. I didn't want much of a concave to it, and I wanted leather, and this was pretty much the only steering wheel that wasn't ugly that fit that bill. Fun fact, if you're ever in a pickle and you can't find a steering spline adapter for your Opel, a adapter for a Ford Laser, Mazda 323, Mazda MX-5 works. That is what's on here, in fact. It's not perfect. The depth isn't quite perfect, so you will have a gap between your trim and the boss, which you wouldn't have with a purpose-made one, but the steering wheel will still go on. Fucking oh, yes. Yeah, I reckon once I have this dialed in, this is going to be a pretty pleasant cockpit. My seat's definitely way too high. I've got about 6 fingers between my head and the roof, which is less than I want. I still have some adjustments left on the side mount rails. I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Mostly because I just locked the steering wheel and there's keys over there and I can't play pretend anymore. But yeah, see ya when I see ya. Hello there. It is not tomorrow. It's been a few days, but we are continuing work on this thing. As you can see, as per the other night, seat in, steering wheel in. Now the steering wheel can come out so that I can mock up the interior, mock up all the new stuff I'm installing, and essentially get everything ready so I can rip it all back out again, clean it, tidy it up. Now I can get to work with assembly. First thing that needs to go in is the instrument panel, then everything can go in around and after that. Now that that's finally all together, the question is, what am I going to install? This is a brake bias adjuster, that is a battery isolator switch, that is a phone charger, bobbin. Then I have an oil pressure gauge and a boost gauge. Alright, we are inside. First up, I think I need to figure out where I want to put my gauges. They are sort of important. I reckon I'm going to put the boost gauge there, nice and close to me, in eyesight. Put the oil pressure there. I used to have the oil pressure down there, that didn't work too great. I used to have the boost gauge there, where the OEM clock used to sit. That was really cool. I was really fond of that. It was sort of part of the charm of the car. But I think this will just look better and more put together. And then I retrieved this from the parts car. I can put the OEM VDO clock back and just have it look proper. And this is one of the many nice things about having a parts car, is I have 2 of everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismantle these, put holes in them, and then sort of use them as trim pieces to mount my gauges where I want them, and also to keep the gauges in. Next up is this. This is just a car charger. It's got a little digital voltage display for your battery voltage. It's got USB Type-C, USB, and it is a fast charger. I'm not sure why it has a button on it though, but it looks nice and put together. That's going to go there with the OEM. Of course the hole is too small. I'll just make it bigger. I've got all the stuff I need to do that. That's going to go where the original cigarette lighter was, because cigarettes are bad. Don't do that, kids. And last but not least, I need to do the race car things, figure out where they're going. And as you can see where they are, that is where they're going to be. Those aren't going to be as straightforward to mount though. I am going to have to take the old one, which I've already modified. I'm going to keep this one as a spare because it's still nice. Modify it to put that there, and then probably glue it shut to keep it nice and rigid. It's got more than enough clearance for the wires. I don't have to run any extra wiring for it because my wiring's already going to run down here. I just splice that in line, and then that's going to go there. That's really the only place I can put it that is ergonomic for where I'm going to need it, because the whole reason I have the lever type and not the screw type is for precise-ish on-fly brake bias adjustments. I can't put it anywhere up there on the dash, although right there would kind of look cool and work decently for ergonomics, but running the lines, making a bracket, that's going to suck. Also, every time I need to dismantle the interior, this will need to come out, which, yeah, nah. So I'm going to mount this to the floor by means of probably an L bracket that I still need to make, and just put a hole right there, and it can stick through the center console. I can't put it further back because bucket seats, I cannot move my arm that far back. This is about as far back as it goes comfortably. It'll have to be there. So that's it, really. Then, last but not least, I need to find things to fill these holes. I reckon I'm going to put the ECU there. For those of you wondering, I might end up running a max ECU street. Want to run something a bit more advanced so that I have scalability in the future. I need to find something to fill that hole because I don't have HVAC. That's where the HVAC control used to sit. And I need to fill that hole because I don't have HVAC, and that's where the HVAC controls used to sit. Then I need to fill that hole where the choke used to be. Don't have a carburetor anymore. And then these are annoying. These are annoying because back in the day, for some reason, all of the Opels that I've encountered had the little pilot lights for their anti-theft systems right there. Mind you, I've never seen an Opel Kadett with a working anti-theft system. They always had them there, and then the other one on that side was a button for your fog lights. This car doesn't have fog lights. It's never had fog lights in my ownership of it, my usership of it. So I just wanted to put those there because, shock horror, that weighs less than that. And also I don't want useless switches in my car. But now I've got two ones with holes in them because you can't find ones for that side that don't have holes in them, and they're not ambidextrous. So it's just, hello. Enough blabbering. Let me start by doing this. I hope that comes out as easily as it went in because I cannot remember how to take it out. And get the easy stuff in. So let me get the gauges in, and let me get this bobbin in, and then I reckon get the steering wheel back on and more or less have an idea of what I'll be looking at when I'm driving. It is about here where somehow I got confused between the camera recording and the camera not recording. So take my word for it, I promise it did happen. Off screen, a lot of work involving a pencil grinder went into modifying those vents to get the gauges to fit into them. Oops. Yeah, now that the steering wheel is sort of kind of back in again, I can really start visualizing how this cockpit is going to be once everything is together again. I'm really happy with the way I decided to choose to do the gauges because that looks so much more put together than my original patent, which I still need to show you. That is going to be all the work that I'm going to be doing in this video. That's going to be difficult to mount. That's going to be difficult to mount. Both are going to require some light aluminium fabrication. And yeah, I just realized I still need to take the seat out as well. I need to paint this bracket. As promised, that is my original center console, and as you can see, the old oil pressure gauge is where the cigarette lighter used to be. I really hope that so far you are enjoying this build series. I do apologize for the slow progress on the Opel. It's a much less straightforward build than the Hiluxes were. Much more custom stuff, much more stuff for me to learn, much more stuff that I'm trying to DIY that needs DIYing. So put it down in the comments how you've been enjoying the series so far, what you've been enjoying about the series, so I know what to show you more of, what you don't like about the series, so I know what to show you less of. With that being said, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.